This is Philip again, and welcome back to our short course for Shopify Hydrogen 2.0 Plus Remix. In this video, we are now in the first part of Session 8 for GraphQL Pagination. As suggested by few, so I decided to add a second part of the session for collection, sorting, and filtering functionality. Soon this short course is about to end, and we are going to start the Shopify Admin API integration very soon. If you are just new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you will be notified on every new video release. And I think without any further delay, let's go ahead and I will going to demonstrate you how we can add a GraphQL pagination to our blog post category. Okay, so here we are. We are going to run our existing hydrogen app, npm run dev. Although the GraphQL pagination will only be applied to those store has a rich content for SEO. And I think if you are familiar with SEO, I think if you were going to add more content to your site, then it will also help to improve your ranking in a search engine in a particular keywords targets. But in this case, I think I will just gonna show you how we are going to apply the pagination. So the basic requirements is we need at least more than 20, whatever limit, the limit of your pages. In your first page of your blog post, I think if you want them just to display a few of your content, then the pagination is really applicable. So here, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you just to demonstrate in creating an articles. I think if you're just already familiar with this, it's the same way what we done in our liquid template and so on. And now we're in my own environment for our demonstration for this demo. For this short course. I think it's currently empty. I'm gonna check that in blog post. We don't have any existing articles yet. So here I'm gonna show you only single articles added to the store. And of course, I want you to create your own. You can just copy anywhere in the site. In the outside external things that you can find in a search engine. So here, I should have to create okay, like if you are just going to use the existing category, if you have a preferred other one, like we're gonna say I want to create my own category, like here. What I've done to this, I think I added in a navigation, I added a ultimate snowboard. So this is my category, and I'm gonna save that. I think I have to add images to this. Let's give it a sample, save, and then refresh. Why is it? It's not added the images, the image rather. Oh, that's impossible. Okay, so we're gonna try add it again. Okay, didn't save it. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the template anymore in hydrogen, because this is not relied on to this template anymore. And I think we can only add it in our codes, and how you are going to display the same way what we done in usual template. Now you are going to apply it into your own hydrogen handle for articles. So I'm gonna explain you what will be the basic requirements for this handle for journal. So the Shopify hydrogen, they provided a sample as a journal category, and I think you can create your own category. So what I did here, I created my own category like this ultimate snowboard. We're going to add a navigation first. In our main menu, add ultimate snowboard. Then let's go into link that into this blog category and save. Let's try to open up in our liquid preview if this will be visible for the handle. Okay, so the handle, it's here. And now we're going to apply that handle, goes down to our hydrogen. And here I'm going to copy this and then paste it, and I will going to rename with that handle. Did I copy that one? Copy. Go back here. Rename. And then the other one, journal handle for articles. This is for your blog category, and this one is for your individual articles. So just copy it, then right here paste that copied file and rename. We're gonna rename it with our own handle. Maybe here. Anyway, it's not. It doesn't work to rename. Let's go here. We're gonna copy. Go back somewhere here. Handle, and this is the category. All right, so I think that's done. Now we're gonna change this as like that, and as well as here. So make it sure you have to change the blog handle. Whatever the handles was found in your page when you are going to preview using this liquid theme, then you can find easily the handle for your blog articles. So let's try. I think what we need to do here, I think it will not automatically applies this navigation what we add into our back end. Let's try to preview it. If I'm not mistaken, if this is okay, then that works pretty well. Let's check out what might be the problem here. It's taking time. Okay, so there's some things that happen in the hydrogen right now. You must also be updated for more release, different upgrades on the hydrogen. So I think what we have here, there's a problem with the API version. We're gonna try to resolve this issue first. It seems like the storefront API version was changed, so we're gonna change it as well. Let's go to in our INV. Then right now it is version 2023-04. We're gonna change it to 2000-07. Okay, I think there's something wrong with our previous work for the Mega Mino. I think there's amazing K props to that, so let's try to resolve this as well. Mega Mino, and then I think we're missing here. Let's say K, and then string near in your escape button in your keyboard. Then here we're gonna do is to it's like a Mega Mino LI. You can name whatever name, at least it is unique name that has no duplicated name uses for this K. So here you're gonna say $, then say Mino ID. Save. Rebuild. And let's go back to our preview. Now it is showing up the navigation. If we're going to click this, then surely it will display the new category added to our blog post. So I think that's it. Now we are going to add more articles. So I'm gonna post this video. Okay, I think I already completed added few articles into this category for ultimate snowboard. Now we are going to try comparing the useful setup in a blog category using the liquid template and the hydrogen between them. So let's try to look at in our liquid theme, and it's showing up this way. So we have at least 6 articles showing in the first page, and there is automatically added pagination. Now the pagination has a big difference when we are going to compare with the liquid and the hydrogen. In the hydrogen, it is no longer applicable by page, and because of this issues, I think it's not available by default. If you're going to look at in the hydrogen app, if we're going to visit this ultimate snowboard category, now you didn't say that there's a pagination, and there is a big difference how the GraphQL really works compared with the old setup of the liquid theme. But in a GraphQL, why is it more preferred? Because it's really fast. It's being optimized for a fast way how to display rendered those objects from your admin database goes to your storefront. So here, if you want to learn more about the pagination, you can visit this resource and you can find it. But in here, I think there is no. I didn't see that there is a blog pagination, but it's the same way how you're going to apply this all products query with your blog category. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to apply this pagination down to our ultimate snowboard. And let's go back here. So I think I saw a problem with that earlier when I tried to open the individual blog post in our hydrogen. Okay, here what happened is that if we're going to click in individual posts or articles, it's showing this kind of issues. Now, how we are going to resolve this? I think what we need to do is to rename our category. It seems like it is not applicable when we're going to use a hyphen into our handle. So I think the solution will be like we're going to rename that handle down to our environment, and here we're gonna do that here. So like in this ultimate snowboard, we are going to rename this edit website SEO, remove this hyphen, and save. And go back to your BS code. Here we are going to apply the same way what we rename on our backend. Just remove this hyphen or dash and save. The same way with this index. In these two different files, the index is pointing out our category, and in this file, it's pointing out in our individual blog post. Now, what happened to your individual blog post? This requires us to rename as well this journal handle, which is based on the copied original file for the journal. So here, once you rename that, and I can copy this, and then let's try to change it here and go back in here. I think what else we can do with that? Save. Okay, so here it's not able to rename that. Then let's go back in our preview. Yeah, I think it's working now. So if I were going to click the individual blog post, now it is also working fine. Now I think we are ready to apply the pagination down to our articles. So here it seems like there's only few articles that has been shown in this category. So what happened is if we're going to look at in our blog post index.tsx, it is being specified for the page pagination. In our blog query, there is a page by, and if we're going to point out where is it this exactly located, it is on the live constant folder. So let's try to look at here. I think it's here. If you see that it's only displayed 8. So if we're going to display all of the articles I added, I think I got 14 of that. Then if we're gonna refresh the site, now it's showing up all of those articles. But this is not what I want. I want to apply the same way what we did. But here it's a big difference because what I said earlier, that it doesn't really works with GraphQL when using this page separate each of these pages by number. It will only appear that we can easily apply by a preview page and the next page. I think I will just show you how this implementation really works. So here, what will happen, all of those things which should be applied in this particular file. So this is our ultimate snowboard blog category, and then we are going to copy the GraphQL and how this been seen in our Insomnia. Let's try to put it here. So this is pointing out in my demo store for short course, and I think what we need to do, I'm gonna remove the language, the cursor. We do not that, not for now. I'm gonna show you what exactly happened if we're going to send this request. And here, I think I'm gonna remove this for a while because we don't have a cursor yet. So here, if I'm going to send this request, now you see that there's a response, and there have 8 pages. Now, what if we're going to apply the pagination? And I think we required to get the cursor and the page information if there's a next page or there's a preview page. Okay, so what we're gonna do here in our down to this nested object. So what we do here is to inside in the article we're gonna add the page information, and then oops, say end cursor, start cursor, then has next page, then has previous page, and send. Okay, so you see that there's an information provided that we have an end cursor, start cursor, and has next page because we set it as 8. But if we're gonna try to specify 20, and let's try to see how the page information goes, then you see it's turning to false because that's the way how the page by works. So here we're gonna change it back to 8 articles. Now it becomes true. So here now, what should we do with this is that we're going to apply this end cursor and start cursor by doing it in our hydrogen app. So probably what I'm gonna copy is I want to copy this, and let's try to put it somewhere in our this file, and I think we have here, put it that, then save. Now I want to know what exactly this information do in our loader arguments. We're going to show up this blog object. What would be the what will be the details that we can find it in this object? You can say blog. Okay, so I'm gonna save that, and I think we're gonna visit our category. Let's go back in our base code. It shows something interesting here. I think it's none, so probably somewhere it should be placed in here, but seems like this is very difficult to. Okay, here. So there is already added a page information, and the first request we see it that there's an end cursor and the start cursor, but there is has next page, previous page, all are false. All right, what is going on with that? Page information, let's try to check. It seems like we displayed a few. Okay, I think we didn't save that. Let's try to check it here. Yeah, okay, so this is set it as 20, so I want to change it to 8, then save. Then let's try to look at in our console what will happen next. Let's try to revisit this page. Now let's go back in our console. You say that there's already a next page that it turns to true. Now how we can apply it in our own way how to display the pagination. Okay, I think what we need to do, we're going to add an element. So I just copied element found in, I'm gonna say pagination tailwind. So we're going to add a CTA or call to action just to see it how this really works. Okay, I think this is the applicable for GraphQL. So we cannot do this in a GraphQL, but this one. So we're gonna copy that. I'm gonna say copy this, and let's put it in our component here. Where should we place that? This is the article. This is the individual article list. Okay, so probably we can add it down to this. Okay, we're gonna remove that, and the class, I think this is okay. Preview next, I think we only need one. it's become double. We're gonna do that here, and here we're gonna change it to class name. Then I think instead of a tag, I will going to replace it with button. Change it to type button. You can play around if you want to make this more pleasant. What things you can improve this element. Go back here. Yeah, I think it's here now. So we want to make this space between them. So probably I need to add a justify. Let's see here, justify. Is there a space? Justify between. Yeah, I think that works. So then I think it's me. I want to align this between them within the section. Okay, what if I were going to move this inside the section? Let's try to do that. That's one. Put it here. And clicks, I'm gonna say justify between. Save. Alright, so it seems like this is ready to apply this pagination. Okay, so now let's go back in our VS Code. What we're gonna do with that is to add this information for the page info. So I think what's things required is to add what we call a search parameter into our browser. So here we have this object request. I think we can apply that. And okay, I think that's it. So over here we're gonna do that as constant search param, then new URL. It is new URL, then request that URL. So it's simply from here, this object, there is another property inside on this object. So we can call that URL. Then here what we have to do is that say search. You're gonna search that parameter. Then oops, what's wrong? And then we are going to add a cursor, then search parameter, search object parameter get cursor, and then if undefined, we're gonna simply undefine. Then I'm gonna name it action is equal to search param get action is equal to preview. If yes, then that is true, then not if it's false. Okay, then the next, I think we're gonna try to console this and say cursor console log that action. Okay, so here we have this cursor. I think we have to specify cursor here, cursor plus cursor, and the other one. Okay, so this is the statement for the first request, and I think we are going to add another request for, I think this, we can use this as a preview, so we're gonna rename this, I think probably. Okay, so we're gonna try to we will going to rename this statement as a preview. Then in our preview articles, this is what we had information. I think this is working fine. Preview, blog preview. Here we will change it here, the preview. Then here we're gonna copy this one. Copy this. Then here we're gonna say next, and then in here I think this is different. I think this is next. I think this is okay. So I think the preview will be a different one. So in the preview, this will change to a last page by. So it's the same number of page by, but here we're going to change it to before. Okay. So that is the way how we're going to apply this kind of setup. I think that's it. I think this is enough. So we have here our cursor, then the value will be put it here and add it into the before parameter. The next one is the same way, cursor goes to that. Okay, so in our statement, go back to our load argument, we need to add a statement here, if else statement. So this is basically for preview query, and it will call the blog query preview statement. So what we need here, we want to add another one statement that should be applies for the next page. Here, so we're gonna say if this is blog, then here if this is the else statement, if this is a preview, then is else. I think this is the action. Okay, so if constant blog should be probably we need to add a statement here. You're gonna say if the action is equal to preview, then if it is true, so here this is the action parameter. If this is a preview, if equal to preview, then becomes true. Now this condition becomes true if it is equal to action. Then here, what we're gonna do with this, we're going to add another statement. I just copy this one, copy that, then paste it here. Okay, now this one will be for the next page, and we have the cursor, we have the blog handle. Okay, so if this is false, then we are going to call the blog query next. Let's try to save that. Okay, now I think what we have to do here is we're going to use a use state in our journal component. Let's scroll down. So here there is this is the component for journal, and now we have this article, but I think I want to add a page information here, page info. Okay, we have the page info, but it's not available yet. Down to here, so page info should be added somewhere here. So articles, so we can add a constant. I want the page info should be post into this object. Page info is equal to blog articles the page info. Then here there's another JSON return. So page info. Then let's go back in our, okay, so it's here. This is already added this object. And then what we're gonna do, we are going to apply use state here for the cursor and cursor. So first we're going to constant, then and cursor set and cursor is equal to use state, then null as any. So we don't have a use state yet. We're gonna import this use state module here. So import use state from React. Go back. So constant, another use state, constant. If the information has a next page, then set has next page. We're gonna change it to capital. It's equal to use state false. This is a boolean. Constant, another constant for has previous page, then set has previous page. It's equal to use state. Oh, why is it next page? Should be previous page. Use state false as boolean. And then another one is for start cursor. Set start cursor like this. Oops, what's wrong with my keyboard? It's equal to use state null as any, then constant journal articles. Okay, so we are going to use state for every changes to our articles. Okay. Bunch of our articles, you can say that. Set journal articles, then use state, then this will be an array because this will hold all the articles. In every click on our, like I'm gonna show you back in our storefront, in our front end, in every click event, this will also change this use state array. So these are different set of articles will be send request to our admin and goes back to our storefront, then it will apply that return response from the admin API. So now what we have to do with this, I think we also require a feature to do this. Okay, so I think we are also required to get the cursor using the S location hooks. So we're gonna say here S location, use location hooks. I think this is the name of the variable. I will say it like that. Then use location. This is from the remix, and like that. Then constant feature is equal to use feature, the same with React Remix. And then next will be, let's try to console what will happen to that. Let's try to console the page info, and let's look at the result. Where is that now? Okay, here. So we got this information. Now it's automatically added to our console. We have this end console has next page, start console. Although you would never see how we add this parameter if you are familiar with parameter in our browser. So we don't need to display this thing. It's being hide, but of course it's still working on our codes. I don't know how to explain that. Here now, let's go back to this thing. So what should I do with that is to say something like, okay, we're gonna apply constant. This will be for our, we're gonna apply a function to this. So on next page, next page is equal to arrow function. We're gonna if has next page, use picture. Load. So in every click of this function, we are calling the feature to load this page. So we're gonna use the string, then $, and location, then path name, then cursor, then end, $, then end cursor, and unsigned if the action is equal to next. So this will come up with the parameter. If we're going to click that on next, then this will add this parameter to our browser. If it's equal to next, then this condition will satisfied to this action search get action is equal to preview, then it becomes false. Now let's add another one. We're going to add the constant on preview page, then if has previous page, then feature load string, then say the same, is location dot path name question mark, then we're going to call the cursor $, and we're gonna say start cursor because this is for the preview page. Then here we're gonna add and then action is equal to preview. So that's it. Then now we're going to call the use effect because we have to apply these changes at the same time. Let's say use effect, then this is not a really straightforward, it's really a complex functionality, but of course this hoping these things will help you doing this. So end cursor, and set has if the page info that has next page. So we're gonna apply all of those value goes to our use state variable. We set has preview, then page info that has previous page, and here set start cursor as well, and say page info that start cursor, then set journal. This is our variable whenever there is a event, call event for the next page and previous page. And here you're gonna add its array to execute this just once. Okay, another use state for feature, we are going to apply that here. You're gonna say use effect, then if this feature data is not returning, then you're gonna accept, then set journal articles. If yes, if there is a data, then we're going to get that data from the articles object added to this set journals use state variable. Then we're gonna set and cursor as well, say feature dot data page info, then end cursor. And here set has next page, feature data, feature data, page information that has info has next page, set has previous, use state feature that data, page information that has previous page. Another one is to set the start cursor, feature data, page info, then start cursor. Then now we are going to trigger it in every time there is a request for feature object. Say feature, we need the feature dot data. Okay, so let's try to console what will be the information we got for that. We're gonna try to start cursor, console log, then journal articles. Okay, so let's try to look at in our preview. Okay, so we don't have to take any action yet, but we can see here that is already throwing this value to the console. So this is the start cursor. Now we're gonna apply that functions when we are going to click the page next or previous page. So here what we have to do is to add this on click, then we are calling the function for end preview page. Then here we're also calling the what's wrong, on next function. Save. Okay, hope everything is working. It will work properly. Still saving. Build. I think it's undefined. Okay, I think that's fine. So if I'm going to click next, there's something wrong with that. Okay, let's try to evaluate what's wrong. So here it says that React caught the following error during the type error cannot read end cursor. Okay, the end cursor, it's this is the cursor, then it's returning false. Okay, the problem is that we need to change this. This is the default. So now we are replacing this object with our own use state articles. So we're gonna replace this here, and then here we are going to set it as any, then here as number. Why is it I set it as any? Because journal articles is declared as use state any. So we're gonna save that. Hope this time it works. Okay, rebuild. Now let's go back. So if I were going to click next, then it will change a different set of articles. Click next, and you see it that is now changing what exactly we want. So it's, if we're going to click preview, then it will goes back to the previous page. I think that's it for this video, and looking forward for the next part of this session 8, which is the sorting and filter functionality added to your collection page. And thank you for your time, and hope to see each other again. Bye for now.